My name is Ajibade John, Information Security Administrator at Virtually Tested Foundation. This is Business Etiquette Task, Week 6. The topic is team conflict management. I'm going to start by defining what a team is. A team is a group of individuals working together to achieve the goal. That is, a group of people coming together with a common mindset, with a common task to get it done. Another definition is a team is a group of individuals all working together for a common purpose. The individuals comprising a team ideally should have common goals, common objectives, more or less think on the same line. Then I'm going to move on by defining what a conflict is. Michael Nixon defines conflict as an activity which takes place when individuals or groups wish to carry out mutually inconsistent acts concerning their wants, needs, or obligations. The second definition I have here is conflict is a perception, meaning it only really exists if it is acknowledged by the parties that are experiencing it. For example, the best example I can give to this is you might have a mindset about a particular person. The truth is, what if that mindset is actually wrong or is not correct? So that is it. Now I'm going to go my way to define what management is. Management is a process of planning, decision making, organizing, leading, motivation, and controlling the human resources, financially, physical, and information resources to an organization to reach its goal efficiently and effectively. Management is all about harnessing every resources that you have available, coordinating them in achieving your main goal. Now, what is conflict management? Conflict management refers to techniques and ideas designed to reduce the negative effect of conflict and enhance the positive outcomes for all parties involved. There are various factors that comes together for conflict to happen within a group of people. Now I have 5 resources here, so we're gonna go through them. I'm gonna explain them. According to an international study done by CPP Global in 2018, the most common causes of workplace conflict are: number 1, difference in personality. What is your personality like? Your being, your character, your behavior. Then number 2, stress. Not everybody can work under pressure. Some people, when they work under pressure, they get easily agitated, they get easily stressed up, they flare up easily. Then number 3 is inappropriate workloads. Inappropriate workloads, when the work is getting too much. Then poor leadership. Then communication issues. Communication is one of the main important factors to avoid conflict. When you communicate, issues get resolved easily with better understanding. And tips and strategies for conflict management. Number 1, acknowledge the problem. For you to resolve a problem, you must acknowledge that there is a problem somewhere that needs to be fixed. If someone comes to you with a dispute that seems trivial to you, remember, it may not be trivial to them. Actively listen to help the other person feel heard, then decide what to do about the situation. And I'm going to go to the next point: gather the necessary information. You can't resolve a conflict unless you've investigated all sides of the problem. Take the time you need to understand all the necessary information. This way, you will choose the best conflict management style and find an optimal resolution. There is no way you can solve a problem you know nothing about. So it's very important you gather every necessary information about it from the both parties, so that you can come to a better conclusion how to solve it. The next one is set guidelines. When discussing a conflict with a spouse or intervening for two employees, setting a few guidelines before you begin is essential. Participants should agree to speak calmly, listen, and try to understand the other person's point of view. Agree up front that if the guidelines aren't followed, the discussion will end and resume at a later time. This is very important because at times people listen to judge, they listen to give response, they don't listen to understand. So setting the guideline, we prepare the mind of the two parties or the number of people involved to know that they have to actively listen for better understanding. Another one is keep emotions out of the discussion. An angry outburst may end the conflict, but it is only temporary. Talk things out calmly to avoid having the dispute pop up again. One of the best way to know someone who is in charge of his or life, who's mature, is being able to keep emotion away. Even though you're getting upset, being able to suppress the anger and talk calmly will do a lot of good when resolving conflict. Then you have to be decisive if you're the team leader. Once you've talked through a dispute and evaluated the best approach, take action on the solution you've identified. Letting others in on what you decided, let them know what you care and are moving forward. It's always very important. Don't get in stuck, don't get in swayed. You have to go right there and make decision based on the information you've had, based on what they've said. Is very, very important. Then you have to be empathetic. Is very important. Empathy is very important. In general, any job in which you are required to work alongside other people, possessing a strong emotional quotient is very, very important. Means having an increased ability to recognize emotions in both yourself and others, which allow us to be more aware and understanding of other people's struggles. A lot of people don't know when they're under stress. They don't know when they say no. They don't know when to say no. They don't know when to stop. But you understanding your own emotions is very, very important. You know when to stop. You know when to pause. You know when to have a break. You know when you can't take anymore. You know when you can go further. This we do a lot of good. Then another point is, for that reason, empathy make valuable team player and leaders. Being overall more likely to succeed in a team setting. That said, if an interpersonal conflict arises, it is important to ensure a fair resolution that takes into account both sides of the dispute. Very, very important.